Hey guys, I'm back in the Mojave Desert with mine operator. Harry's here with me today, and we have an exciting update from their mill site. Let's go and check it out, and we're gonna run some more and get some gold.
Oh, just barely. Plumbing sucks, so we overflowed sand.
Not bad for just testing the table. Oh, a lot of metal, holy moly. Harry, what's all this orange and gray equipment doing back there?
We bought a bunch of your stuff this year.
Tell us what you got here.
Okay, we have Jason's demo model. We got his 1 ton an hour hammer mill, his 4x8 shaker table, and the spiral classifier that he was using through all his past videos for what, the last 3 years? So it's installed. I wired it hopefully properly. We'll find out.
This is the maiden voyage.
Yeah, this is the maiden voyage, and we've got you here to help me not screw it up.
Okay, that's a big ask. Let's see, I think it looks great. I think it's gonna be just what you need.
So over the last, I don't know, 5 years, we've been attempting to put together a 1 ton an hour pilot mill. And we put it together using JIPO pieces of equipment from random places. None of it was engineered properly, and it was a failure. We couldn't crush things properly. We took Freddie and Juan from Gold Mine Rescue to come out and help us, and we still didn't quite get it going. And so we finally threw it all down and said, let's get Jason's system. So here we are.
Okay.
So we can properly test.
So this will crush finer. You won't get any oversize.
Right.
And the table will concentrate out a very high percentage of the gold into the number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, and Freddie and Juan did an excellent job getting our classification issues addressed, but we were ending up with a majority of it on the floor. Like 25% we could not run because it wasn't designed for the student ROF. Our table couldn't handle the oversize out of the student ROF, so everything was a good piece of equipment, but they didn't work together.
Right.
And so that's been replaced, and now we don't have to classify over there at the surge hopper. We don't have to classify after the mill to the table. It's just straight through.
Everything goes in and right on the table.
0.8 millimeters.
0.8 millimeters. So what are we gonna run today? What's this stuff on the floor?
So Dad had done a lot of testing the last few months, and this is the oversize that he was classifying. And so we're gonna run this through the system to test, obviously, the system, get it dialed in, but then see the amount of liberation we were losing.
Right. So this stuff isn't tailings.
No,
it's ore.
This is classified ore off the top, plus 1/2 inch, and then plus 3/8.
Plus 3/8.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just start shoveling this stuff into the hopper.
That's right.
And run it through the hammer mill and the table. Think we'll get gold today?
Hope so. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
And if we do get gold, we're gonna try and smelt it down into a button at the end of the day and get some real gold off your system.
Yeah.
They've done this before. They've gotten gold off this system before, right?
Yeah, you wanna see the tally?
Oh no.
Here's our tally in pounds. And then this is what we did the next season in testing. So that's our tally that we run through our old system.
And do you know about how much gold you've gotten altogether?
Grams.
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 So if we are able to recover grams here today, like if we can get 5 grams today,
That'd be awesome.
you're ecstatic.
I'd be ecstatic if I can concentrate gold into the number 1 and number 2 and not worry about losing it out the back end.
So if we can crush it fine enough to liberate it, capture it on the table, and make a con that we can smelt, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Let's do it.
All right.
Moment of truth.
We got voltage. We're in amps. In case my ammeter doesn't work. And we're running.
It's a very slow startup. They're using the VFD and they have to slowly increase the amperage so it doesn't break. All right, we're just getting ready to set up our test here. We've shoveled maybe 500 pounds off the floor, ran it up through the conveyor into their hopper. Now it will feed from the apron feeder under the hopper, up this conveyor, into the hammer mill, down on the table. I think you want to go slow at first.
Yeah. That's gonna be way too much, huh?
No, I mean, that's okay. Well, we're getting some of the kinks worked out with the system, but it's working really, really well. They've never seen a line like that on the table before. They're getting gold coming across, and this is stuff that is oversized. It's still head ore, but now Harry's saying there's actually some stuff that is mixed in there with the tailings as well. There's some tailings in this stuff. So they're pretty excited to see what's coming across the table, and it's essentially free money at this point for them. All right, we just finished up our first test run. Harry, what went well and what didn't go so well?
Well, I'm very happy that we made a concentrate on the table. The crush looked good, but the pieces of equipment that we have tried to interface with Jason's system didn't work so good. First point being, our rise over run on the plumbing sucks, so we overflowed sand.
That's what all the mess here is on the floor. That only happened one time.
Yeah, only once. Well, we were max performing the system. Our system, not yours. Yours was fine.
We ramped up the throughput in the hammer mill. We're like, oh, it's only running 15 amps. Let's put it at 25. So we did, and a whole bunch of material came through, which worked fine, but we couldn't get all that material and water through that pipe fast enough, and it clogged up.
So I think the solution is bigger pipe, and we'll run water as a clean out, as a Band-Aid, until I can figure out how to change our rise over run to the spiral classifier.
Just push more water through there and clean it out.
My vacuum system, I need to probably close that up better. And then our little conveyor.
It was intermittent over here for a while. I didn't quite see what was going on.
Yeah, so what's happening is this conveyor is so old, this material is so brittle that the wheel, the rollers just keep rolling and the belt doesn't move.
Oh, it doesn't grab on the belt.
Doesn't matter how tight I put it, so it doesn't grab the belt. So any friction weight here, because this belt is a sliding belt, kind of like if you're on a treadmill.
Like an apron feeder type of situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how this conveyor was designed. The problem with that being now there's too much friction and the rollers can't overcome that friction and it just stops. So it'd go and stop, go and stop. So we would crank it up and it worked great, but then we would overfeed the tailings side of our system.
Right.
So we're like trying to find a happy medium. Just buy the entire turnkey system. Don't engineer anything yourself. Even if you're an engineer, you will do it wrong. The engineering's already been done. Don't be dumb like me.
Harry's not a paid actor here.
No, I'm not.
But I will say, for those of you out there who have not done this before, it is immensely difficult to put together a system like these guys have done. Hats off to them. These guys have taken equipment that doesn't really all mesh together. They've made it work, and it's really pretty impressive, Harry. You did a great job. The problem is, and for those of you who have done stuff like this, you'll know, as soon as you change one thing, the water flow, the height of a piece of equipment, the feed rate, the crush size, you change one thing, even a little bit, and everything gets thrown off. You have to adjust everything all over again. So that's what we're going through right now. We're just getting everything tuned in, and it'll be great. It's all gonna work fine. It's just that growing pains.
Yeah, and I had to shut the door because it's about to rain.
Is it about to rain?
In the middle of the Mojave.
Of course. Hey,
so you show up and it's gonna rain.
That's from me. Sorry, guys. Brought the rain with me.
Look at all that brass.
You got brass in there?
No, it's all brass.
I think we got.
So we were definitely seeing some yellow stuff on the table that wasn't acting like gold, but it sure looked like gold. We think it's a bunch of brass junk. So we're going to take the number one, pan it down, see what we have in there for brass and gold, and then maybe we'll run another ore to test that out, but we'll just see kind of where this whole thing goes. I'm not sure what the plan is now. I'm not in charge, which is nice for a change. No plan.
No plan.
No plan.
The first objective was make the system go, and it goes.
Yeah.
So now the next step is run ore.
Here's our showing from the stuff off the floor.
Ignore that.
Yeah. Ignore the brass. All that. The rest of that yellow stuff's pretty nice.
Yeah.
A little bit of tag down here.
There's a piece of gold right there too. Yeah, so this stuff probably needs to get smelted. And so we have copper contamination, right?
There's all kinds of contamination in there.
Yeah.
We'll run some potassium nitrate in there if you got it.
Yeah, we got it.
We'll get it smelted down. Get your gold button.
Yeah, get it out of this.
Not bad for just testing the table. And
not bad for a test.
This system.
I know it's not yours because I vacuumed it out.
You did vacuum the mill out, yeah? Yeah, the brass does have a different color, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is the stuff Harry vacuumed out. The little yellow balls.
The little balls are golds. That's your stuff. And I think there's a piece of gold and something else. That might be from Dan's mine.
Had to donate some gold to him, get him started.
Thanks.
We need it. Thank you.
We need it. So yeah, maybe later we can smelt this down. All right, we're working on our next sample here. I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna take this super sack here full of coarse rock. We're gonna use their sweet little crane here and get it up into the hopper and run the crusher back there, run that big old jaw crusher and get it crushed so we can run it up into our hopper and then through the system there. This stuff is supposed to have some pretty coarse gold in it, so we're gonna run it and see what we can find on the table. There shouldn't be any brass in this stuff. There might be a little bit of brass in the hammer mill still that may contaminate it, but hopefully if this stuff has coarse gold, we'll see it on the table.
For this guy, I think we'll just hand unload it into there.
Yeah.
And it's not going to come out of the bottom of that bag.
We're getting set up to run this quartz. We got it all crushed in the hopper up here. We'll run it up this conveyor belt through the hammer mill onto the table. Harry, this is our highest chance of good gold.
I hope so. I'm hopeful. Hope's not a strategy, but the material we're going to run came from Mr. Pocket. And
Okay.
Chad had worked really hard with Dylan to get this sample down. So it's probably 1,500 pounds. So this is going to be a test if it's in all the quartz or just in that one spot.
Okay. And
So
this is where you and I went metal detecting
Yeah.
last fall.
Yeah.
There's been big nuggets found out here.
Yeah, the record's 10.5 pounds.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
The detector can't tell if it's gold or iron. This is why they got excited about this. There's a little quartz stringer in the andesite and all these little pyrite cubes here. Actually, some of those are pretty big. And that's a big cube. That's a big cube too. All right, well, we got a couple little samples we'll take back home, but the sun's getting pretty low today. Okay.
So if we don't get anything, it's not bad. It just means that it's only in that spot.
Okay.
So they check the vein along pretty far distance.
So it just means it's real pockety.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. It's amazingly clean ore. It's almost all quartz all across the table with a little bit of sulfides right here. We're not seeing much gold yet, but hopefully a couple of these rocks that we crushed have enough gold that we'll see a nice line on the table. Because this is where we were metal detecting those hot spots, and there's a lot of gold in a little tiny area. We haven't seen a lot of gold in this stuff yet, and we keep having issues with our drainage. So we're trying to kind of work on a larger pipe here to get the sand and water to flow better so it doesn't plug. And then we're having to reroute stuff to the spiral. There's a little bit of sulfides here on the table, but not a lot of gold. So hopefully once we get this drainage thing figured out, we can run more material. They've got some cons over here they want to run. They've got some other stuff, but we need to get this hopper empty with this quartz, and we need the drainage to work to do that. All right, I think we got it. We got a way to shoot water from the back. We have it immediately going from a 1.5 to a 3-inch pipe, falling down to a 4-inch pipe and out to the spiral. Harry, no me gusta.
Angle of the dangle. We'll see if this works.
All right, it's the next morning. We're back. We're gonna run some more of that stuff from the pocket. What we saw last night before we shut down was not a lot of gold. And so that tells me and kind of reinforces what I've been learning about gold veins. The gold isn't uniformly distributed throughout the vein. It's pockets, and you'll get real high grade sections that we can metal detect and find really high grade gold. And then 2 feet away, it's almost barren essentially. And that's what we're finding here is the quartz that we're running now is just not very high grade. There's a little bit of gold in it, but not much. Will there be a lot of black sand in this stuff? There's a nice look at the gold line right there, running right up the table.
1.5
Turn and a half. We're gonna drop it down just a hair, try and move that line up under the water bar more. We raised it up because we were doing those cons, and I didn't know how much black sand was in the stuff, but now we're gonna do a little bit different stuff, and so we're gonna drop this end down and move everything over under the water bar. The table's still adjusting a little bit, but just dropping it that 1.5 turns on the jack, you start to see the sulfide band and the gold band come across into the water bar, and it'll make a more direct line down into the number 1. Here's the fine gold line right at the top of the first long groove. And then the larger gold comes out in with these bigger pieces that don't hurt the recovery at all. It's just the water can't push them down because they're so big. But the gold comes up right under the water bar, the bigger pieces do. It's working really well. So this is rerunning the number 2 cons from the Silver Springs. And there's a line of gold there, so it's just not junk. but it's not a whole lot of gold. It's not ounces a ton. It's probably grams per ton, 5 grams a ton, somewhere in there, 1/4 ounce a ton. But it turns out real nice right at the table. Right where it's supposed to. Number one. All right, we just finished our run. We got the hopper all cleaned up. We got a bunch of buckets of cons all cleaned up. We saw a little bit of gold in the table. A couple little gold lines came across real nice. Now we're gonna take all the number 2s and rerun them on the shaker table as kind of a final cleanup. We also might take the number 3s. We got 3s here and 3 in that bucket that we might rerun as well. See if there's anything in the number 3s. All right, we got the table loaded up, kind of about where we like it. All the cons are coming down into the number 3, so we're not losing anything to the tailings. And only the heaviest stuff from the number 2 is working up the ramp and making its way down here into the number 1. There's not a gold line from the number 2s, so that tells me most of the gold went in the number 1. But if there is any gold and any of this stuff here, this white stuff, that might be silver, galena, gold, alloy, something, I don't know, the good stuff, right? The heavy stuff is coming down here, so we can smelt just this and maybe this, depending on what it looks like. We're getting rid of all the magnetics, all the stuff that we just can't deal with now because we don't have enough volume, a smelting volume, to handle all that stuff, and it's probably so low grade that you wouldn't want to smelt it anyway. So we're taking our number 2s, we're creaming everything off the top we can, and we'll take this and we'll mix it with our number 1 to smelt it. We're halfway through the bucket. Are we halfway? A fifth of the way through the bucket. It's slow. When you run cons, you want to go really slow. But I will show you, we are getting a little bit of gold now, coming right out the top 3 grooves, working their way up the long grooves, and we got gold showing right at the head of the sandbar. Harry, what's all this copper in here? There's something about, you tried to run a test with copper?
Yeah, when we were trying to dial in the Silver Springs table years ago, I had a bunch of copper shavings, and I used that, and it ended up in the bottom of the spiral classifier we had, and a mislabeled bucket ended up getting all the cleanings of that spiral classifier in it, and I thought that was a bucket of cons from something else, and so we ended up just rerunning copper fines on the table by accident today. So now we got copper fines in there.
So that's why you're seeing some copper come out here, and it's doing exactly what you want. The copper's coming and going down away from the gold. The gold is up here right at the head of the water, or the sandbar, going down to number 1. The copper is coming down mostly into number 2. And here again, you got a pyrite band. Well, you got a gold band, you got a white band, the copper in here with the darker gray band, pyrite band, a red band, and then a quartz band out here in the very end. A little bit of quartz got into the number 2.
I think that's from our overflow events.
That could be from our overflow. Yeah, that's very true. But I think the takeaway from this is we're gonna, half an hour, Harry, how long is it gonna take us to run this bucket?
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, somewhere in there. It would take you hours and hours and hours to pan this.
Yeah, I don't want pan.
No. And you get really, really nice, clean separation. So we're gonna take just this good stuff right here. We're gonna smelt it and get the gold out. We're doing kind of the final brush down here. Nice little band of fine gold. A lot of yellow there. Let's see what it looks like in the pan and the button after smelt it. Here's our number 1, maybe half a cup. Here's our number 2, probably 2 or 3 cups. I'm gonna pan this down a little bit, mostly just to get those coarser pieces off of there. And then I will pan this down to help concentrate the heaviest stuff so we can fit it all in a crucible, and then we'll smelt it. All right, we got the number 1 and number 2 combined. I panned it down. Now we're gonna pull the magnetics out.
This is a mag switch for welding, but it also works great for cycling magnetics.
Ah.
So you just dance the magnetics to the top, dump it, cycle it, dump it
Cool.
And so now you'll have non-magnetics that got picked up by it, which won't be much, but it's enough to make a difference.
Should I shake this?
Yeah, that works. And I'm just hovering over it. I'm not shoving this thing in there. I'm just trying to get the magnetics to go to the surface.
Right.
See all the non-magnetics it picked up?
Yeah, look at that.
You know, they make machines that do this. Be nice to get one.
I don't know, that machine looks like it's doing a pretty good job to me.
Yeah. Well, if you want to run tons.
Yeah.
And once you get most of it, you can start running it
Get
through.
down there on it.
Dump it, and then pick it up again.
Boy, you're down to most of that white stuff now, aren't
Yeah. See all that black sand?
you? Oh, pump.
Turn up the pump.
Turn off the pump.
I caught it just in time.
We really should smelt that down separate, see if there's anything in the mags, but
I can do that.
we don't have time for that.
No, we don't. I think the concept of smelting is there, but the quantity of gold is not very good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not enough to make it worth our while. But we don't have time because we're headed to Brent's up at Cerro Gordo to do some gold mining on his new property. So be sure to stay tuned for that video and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it in the feed. One of the good things about being in the desert down here is I can leave that pan in the sun. We can go have lunch. When we come back, that'll be bone dry and ready to smelt. Getting our stuff weighed out, and then we'll mix up a flux. We've got 110 grams of cons. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix up 110 grams of soda ash, about, I gotta do math in real time, about 75 grams of borax, and about 35 grams of silica sand. We'll add maybe 10 or 20 grams of potassium nitrate in there as an oxidizer, and some litharge, lead oxide as a collector metal. We'll add about 30 grams in there. I think there's a lot of lead in here already, but we'll add some just in case as our collector metal. And then we'll smelt it, add some iron to it to reduce any of the sulfides in there to a form that will be absorbed by our flux. And we should have a lead button at the bottom of our cone mold after we pour it. Right, Harry?
That's right. You said 75 of borax?
Yeah, that sounds good. The whole goal here is to get 2 parts flux when it's all said and done. 2 parts flux to 1 part cons. Here we go. Here's our mixture. Now we'll get it mixed up into the crucible.
It is finished, and we'll go ahead and smelt it in, I believe that is number 6.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's kind of tall and skinny.
Yep.
I like it.
So we'll pour that in there and we'll get smelted.
Okay. You use your devil forge here, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna try the Devil Forge out. Should have got the bigger one. Always get the bigger one. It's stuck in there too.
Is there stuff? No. Nothing stuck in there.
There's always a tax.
Yeah. There, you're way less than half full.
Yep.
So that's good.
Recording?
Yep. Okay, and we're smelting. Harry really likes his Devil Forge. You like the Devil Forge?
I love it.
He loves it.
6 minutes, melt copper.
Just a couple minutes and we're already nice and orange in there. Stuff's starting to do its thing. Melt. Seeing lead beads on top, so that's good. I'm not sure if you can see down there, but we've been going, I don't know, maybe 8-10 minutes at the most. It's smelting away, doing its thing. It's looking great. A little bit of bubbles are fine. It hasn't frothed up or anything. It's going good, Harry. We'll get your first bead here.
All right.
All right, we added our iron. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to tell what you can see on this little screen. But we're letting it do its thing. We'll pour it here shortly. Harry's pulling the iron out. Didn't get eaten hardly at all.
Oh. Looks like we plated it with something.
Maybe.
Back in or?
No, you can just set it off to the side. There you go. That's your dedicated smelting now. All right, pour away when you're ready.
All right.
I'm gonna film. This is gonna be fun. I get to film the pour. I don't ever get to do this.
That'd be hot. Oh, that doesn't look so good. It survived.
Oh, a lot of metal. Holy moly, that's a lot of lead. That's a lot of lead.
I think it's probably copper, man. Well, that's what it's supposed to look like, right?
Looks good. That was just a lot of lead coming out of there. Hopefully there's some gold in it. Our slag is cooling and popping. Of course, as soon as I turn the camera on, it stops. Okay, great. We're getting close. All right, Harry, let's see our lead mine. A lead mine with a little bit of gold.
Really good at finding lead.
Yeah. There you
Beauty.
go. Nice clean butt.
Look at that. Perfect separation on the slag, no mat.
All right, let's get a weight on it.
It's about as perfect as it could have gone.
And we know if our little 150 gram Cupel will handle this.
How are we gonna weigh it if it's over 100 grams?
I don't know. 81 grams.
81, we can deal with that.
Yeah, we can do 81. That'll fit.
That's a beautiful button. Here's our little Cupel furnace.
This thing's old school.
That is old. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay, we'll check back in a little bit. It's amazing it doesn't get hot on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gone. Cool.
Don't breathe that.
All right, let's check on our bead here. How long has it been? Like an hour?
Yeah. Yeah. It's taking that long to get the temp.
Yeah.
I should have turned it on an hour before.
Oh, that's okay. It's working. It's doing its thing.
No, it's still going.
Still going.
Still going. It's rainbowing. No, it's got a long way to go.
It's got a little ways to go. That's okay. You got all our little beads back in there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not quite hot enough, but it's doing its thing. So hopefully we remedied our situation and we're gonna get gold here shortly. We have to pull this thing. If it's not done, Harry's gonna take it back and finish it up because we have to leave for Cerro Gordo right now. Well, half an hour ago, more or less.
And we're late.
And we're late. We're late for Cerro Gordo, so let's see what we got here. Time to pull it.
Off. It's still melting. My gloves are smoking.
What is happening?
I don't know. I think we have an alloy going on here.
It's not done.
No, it's
I
not.
think you got copper oxide going on in the top there.
Too much copper. Copper bad.
The button looks pretty good though. I mean, it pulled
Yeah.
up real tight.
Yeah, it did. Like not like last time.
No, we'll have to let it cool down and see what we got. But it actually looks. No, it's still got junk in it. That's okay. We reduced it way down. You'll have to finish that up.
To be continued.
So we just cooled it down. There's a little bit of copper oxide still on the surface, but it's definitely gold colored. That needed a little bit more gold or a little bit more lead to clean that little bit of oxide up, but that's 97% there.
Rad.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, some of it was from your mill, seed gold. But yeah.
Not that much.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's go weigh that. All right, here's our little bead. It's not quite there, but it's pretty darn yellow. You have a guess?
2 2.2.
3.5.
Nice, 3.3.
Not bad.
So I think I finished cupelling that again. I think we'll probably get it down into the low 3 or maybe even high 2s.
Yeah, probably high 2s would be my guess.
It's an ugly little thing, but it'll work for now.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
I mean, for just stuff off the floor and
Yeah.
essentially getting the mill ready to go.
Yeah, and testing. We're really just trying to run the system,
Yeah.
but we did a test at the same time. Yeah, most of that came from the floor,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Well, 3 grams, that's $450
Yeah, if it's
gold.
yeah.
There's some silver in it, but I mean, it's pretty yellow. And that'll clean up even more yellow when you get that cupelled. Testing maybe paid for some of it.
Electricity.
All right, well, we got to get off to Cerro Gordo. But if you want to see that button get finished up and get a final weight on it, you got to go check out Harry's channel. I'll leave a link down below to it. I'm really curious to see how much gold we got. We have to head up to Cerro Gordo and go see Brent right now. So if you want to see the final weight on that button, once Harry gets it all cleaned up, finish the cupelling process, he can zap it with his XRF as well to tell us exactly how much gold and silver is in there. You got to check out Mine Operator's channel. I will leave a link down below. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next video.